Leadership Book Summation: A Connection to Organizational Communication by Ochandilu, Mary, and Emily. 7 are The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is not a book that falsely claims to have easy fixes or solutions to communication issues that people have that people face for guaranteed successes like other self-help books or courses. Instead, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People teaches people how to improve themselves interpersonally in order for them to make their communication more effective themselves. Communication breakdown is a problem everyone deals with, but when it happens at an organizational level, there could be some potential far-reaching consequences. This book helps break down why adopting some focus intuitive habits is more effective compared to the emotional, reactive ones. The 7 habits are habits of effectiveness because they are based on principles. They bring the maximum long-term beneficial results possible. I'm Ochandilu with Mary and Emily, and we have been exploring 7 Covies, the 7 habits of highly effective people because of its connection to intrapersonal and interpersonal communication. Effective internal decision making is just organizational communication in general. This leadership book was chosen by us because it breaks down some effective habits that make communication both within organizations and out of it much more productive. The goal of this presentation from all of us is to showcase effective habits and productive mindsets people can adopt in order to achieve success, whether it be for organizational communication or their social life. In order to showcase this thesis, we will speak more on these effective habits as well as the book's overall themes, apply real concepts and theories, and then offer recommendations for organizations and individuals alike. This book's central theme is about becoming more effective in your professional life as well as your personal one. That means changing your internal perspective and hopes for a paradigm shift where you become more principle centered or focus on the important aspects in your life or empathetic in the way you listen and collaborate with others, have a clear vision for the future. One of the big themes of the book is about getting more effective organizational communication, and habits 2 and 3 of the book cover this theme well. If you visualize what your goals and priorities are, then you will be able to work towards them with more intention, especially if you have initiative and are not just reacting to circumstances that happen to you. It means to know where you're going so that you better understand where you are now, and so the steps you take are always in the right direction. That means prioritizing things in your life that are important but not urgent. We react to urgent matters, important matters that are not urgent require more initiative, more proactivity. Another thing from the book, from habits 4 and 5, is that in order to become a more effective teammate, leader, friend, or any other social role, you need to properly value your relationships. To learn to properly value your relationships, your principles regarding leadership and human interaction should be more collaborative. A win-win solution is mutually beneficial for all parties involved. Win-win sees life as a collaborative, not as a competitive arena. Not only that, but in order to properly value the people around you, you should seek to understand them first, then be understood. That means practicing empathetic listening. Empathetic from empathy, listen then gets inside another person's frame of reference. You look out through it, you see the world the way they see the world, you understand their paradigm, you understand how they feel. Stephen R. Covey's leadership philosophy is focused on empowering the people you work with, those within your social circle, and yourself personally. He has a principle centered approach to leadership, where he states that empathetically listening, trusting others, will make them much more likely to do the same for you. Covey's leadership philosophy is delegative in approach, as he believes that fostering a collaborative synergy is much more effective and likely to lead to success than being authoritative. Effective leadership means leading people in ways that will accomplish the team or organization set goal without any great strife or hardships, as well as having everyone involved feeling valued and listened to. Covey's 7 habits will help you reach even greater levels of effective leadership by giving you a more effective mindset. While there is some information that is helpful, the book places a lot of emphasis on the individual, while external factors such as culture, ethics, and the nature of a particular industry may make it hard to follow Covey's advice. These habits may be helpful in general, but they are not applicable to every single industry or organization.
Okay. Applying the 7 habits to organizational communication. Good. Lost my talking point. Okay. Now that we've discussed the key leadership themes, the 7 habits of highly effective people, I want to explain how these habits connect with important communication ideas in organizations. First, there's the concept of communication climate, which is basically the overall feeling people get when they talk and work together. Habit 1, be proactive, relates here because it encourages leaders to take responsibility for their communication, behavior, instead of just reacting. When leaders do this, they create a positive environment where employees feel safe to share ideas and concerns. For example, a proactive leader who addresses rumors openly help build trust and reduce anxiety among staff. Next, the transitional model of communication shows that communication is a two-way process with ongoing feedback. Habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Fits perfectly because it focuses on really listening before responding. Leaders who practice this improve communication, clarity, and reduce misunderstanding. For instance, during meetings, a leader who listens carefully helps the team clarify issues and make better decisions. Finally, sense making theory explains how people make sense of confusing or changing situation. Habit 2 begins with the end in mind, highlights the importance of having a clear vision. When leaders communicate that vision well, it helps employees understand why changes are happening and how they fit into the bigger picture. For example, during company restructuring, a leader who shares the long-term vision helps employees stay motivated and aligned with the organization's goals. Overall, these habits add a human side to communication by emphasizing responsibility, empathy, and clarity. They don't just improve how people communicate, they help explain why communication matters. Applying the 7 habits summary. Habits add empathy, responsibility, and clarity to communications, builds trust and collaborations in all organizational settings. And now, Emily.
Okay, practical recommendations. The key to effective management is delegation. We accomplish all that we do through delegation, either to time or to other people. Transferring responsibility to other skilled and trained people enables you to give your energies to other high leverage activities. Delegation means growth both for individuals and organizations. To do this, you should make a list of responsibilities you could delegate and the people you could delegate to or to train to be responsible in these areas. Then determine what is needed to start the process of delegation or training. You should delegate into categories of go for delegation, meaning to go for this or that, and then let me know when it's done, or stewardship delegation, which is results focused and involves a clear, upfront understanding and commitment in regards to expectations concerning desired results, guidelines, resources, accountability, and consequences. The second recommendation is to create an organizational mission statement. The involvement of everyone is just as important as the written product. It must reflect the shared vision and values of everyone within the organization. The involvement process of everyone creates a great unity and commitment in a meaningful way. It creates in people's hearts and minds a frame of reference, a set of criteria or guidelines by which they are responsible for upholding for themselves. The last recommendation is to develop a win-win mindset. A win-win agreement is the main activity in management. Win-win is a frame of heart and mind that constantly seeks mutual benefit in all human interactions. These agreements are mutually beneficial and satisfying. In a win-win solution, all parties feel good about the decision. Whenever you face an upcoming interaction involves negotiation, agreement, or conflict, try to keep consideration and courage in mind. Put yourself in the other person's place and write out how you think the other party sees the solution. Then list from your perspective what results would constitute a win for you. Approach the other party and see if you're able to communicate until you reach a point of agreement that is mutually beneficial. The recommendation of delegating responsibilities might vary from organization to organization in the sense that you must delegate in a way that you think will be most beneficial for your group. To do this, you must inherently know the characteristics of the people you work with. If you work with slightly less responsible people and want to implement stewardship delegation, you might want to specify fewer desired results, have more guidelines in place, and make sure they have the optimal resources, conduct more accountability check-ins, and apply more immediate consequences. However, if the people you manage are more reliable, you assign more challenging results, fewer guidelines, and more infrequent check-ins. When writing an organizational mission statement, this will vary amongst different organizations, as the mission statement must reflect the values of those within that specific organization. It does not matter what those values are, and if those values inherently contradict the corporate mission statement. What is important is that everyone is heard and involved and can see a reflection of themselves and sees themselves represented in that mission statement. A win-win agreement will differ among different organizational contexts, as a win-win agreement must be a reflection of what is mutually agreed upon and beneficial for the parties involved. What is essential to a win-win agreement is that the results could manifest in a negotiation with another company, a performance meeting with your boss, or a conversation with a coworker. The main process in a win-win agreement is to see the problem from the other point of view. Identify the key issues and concerns, determine what results would constitute an acceptable solution, and then identify possible new options to achieve those results. The core to effective management and leadership is shifting gears to being a proactive individual instead of reactive. The main challenge with the following recommendations is giving up control. A lot of us have the impulse of wanting to do things our way because we know what is best and know the most effective way of completing a task. This is not effective for ourselves or the individuals within our organization. The only way that we can grow and our peers evolve is by offering up some of that control. The challenge will be learning patience and living in the discomfort of doing things differently. There will be no your way or my way, but a better way, and coming to terms with that realization will take lots of practice, mistakes, and accountability. The expected outcomes and benefits from these recommendations are growth amongst individuals and organizations, creating a sense of unity and commitment, seeing life as cooperative, and realizing human potential. You will cultivate a sense of self-awareness, imagination, conscience, and independent will, and create synergy within an organization. It's important to remember that to be a proactive leader, you must not react emotionally, but instead take responsibility for your words and actions to cultivate a safe organizational environment where open communication is welcomed. To actively listen to those around you to improve communication and create a space where communicative feedback is constant. Lastly, being able to communicate a confident and clear vision so peers can easily interpret changing situations. These insights show that an effective leader must actively keep in mind the needs of workers, whether emotionally, socially, or organizationally. And by implementing these strategies, you will be able to see workers grow and evolve into the best version of themselves they can be. However, in order to truly achieve this, you have to connect with yourself and your values before you can truly connect with others to effectively lead them. Thank you.